Next, fertilization. Fertilization means fusion of male and female gamete. This occurs inside the ovule where egg cell is present, and ovule is present inside the ovary. Now pollen grain, that is a male gamete. It carries two male nuclei inside it. So each pollen grain, it contains one vegetative nucleus which give rise to pollen tube to carry male nuclei towards the female nuclei which is present inside the ovule. Now this occurs after when the process of pollination. During pollination, pollen grains, they falls over the stigma. On falling here, they get nourished by the stigma, and the vegetative nuclei present inside the pollen grain, it forms one tube called as pollen tube, through which two male nuclei, they are carried towards the ovule present inside the ovary. Here, on reaching near the ovule, through micropyle, the opening which is present on one side of the ovule, this pollen tube enter the ovule, and there it discharges both the male nuclei. Out of these two male nuclei, one get fused with egg cell present inside the ovule to give rise to zygote, and this process where male nuclei get fused with egg cell inside the ovule to form zygote, it is called as fertilization. The other male nuclei fuses with other cells within the ovule to form endosperm, which store food for the embryo. After this, after the process of fertilization, what are the changes which occur in the flower or in the female reproductive part and male reproductive part of the flower, that we are going to start. Post fertilization changes which occur in flower after the process of fertilization are called as post fertilization changes. After fertilization, ovule develops into seed. Zygote, it grows into an embryo, and the ovary, it forms the fruit. This is very important. After fertilization, ovule develops into seed, zygote grows into embryo, and ovary forms the fruit. Rest part of the flower, such as stamens, style, stigma, petals and sepals, they falls off. The sepal may or may not persist after fertilization. In some of the plant flowers, it remain there, and along with the fruit, they dried up, like in guava. The unripe fruit is usually green and tastes sour or bitter to repel fruit-eating animals. Fruit ripens when the seed mature inside it. Now, when they ripen, they become sweet to attract animals to eat them for seed dispersal. Dispersal means to move seeds from one place to another for their germination. Now, each seed has embryo inside it. Now, what is an embryo? But an embryo consists of radicle and a plumule and one or two cotyledons. So each embryo has one radicle, one plumule and one or two cotyledons. Radicle, it grows into root when seed is germinated. Radicle grows into root, plumule grows into shoot, and these cotyledons, they store food for the growing seedlings. These seeds, they remain dormant, means in resting condition, until the favorable condition for germination attain. The process by which dormant embryo becomes active and grows into a seedling, that is called as germination. Under favorable condition, Radicle give rise to root, already explained. Plumule give rise to shoot, and growing root and shoot utilize the food which is stored inside the cotyledon. Now this is all about sexual reproduction in plants. Next we will start with sexual reproduction in animals.